Things go wrong at 150 miles an hour really quickly.
I still get butterflies on the first run of the season. And if you've never done it before, you don't know what you're in for.
It's fun. It's a rush every time I do it.
This weekend is the Chrysler Power Classic.
We're in Columbus, Ohio at National Trail Raceway. It's a unique track. There's a lot of history here. They used to run a lot of national events here.
I've had a lot of fun here and I claim this as my home track.
This is something big that the Mopar guys look forward to every year because it's a great chance to see the people you don't get to see very often, and it brings their camaraderie together.
My good friend Larry Augustine, me and him go back 25, 30 years. When I bought the 63 from him, that really hooked our friendship up. He's always with me when I'm at the track, and he's helped me a lot in racing.
He's a good driver. I'd let him step in any of my cars anytime. I would say Mopar is kind of a way of life. Some people get addicted to lemonade or beer, drugs. Well, I'm Mopars.
From the whine of the starter to the noise that a Hemi will make. People know when you're in a Mopar.
There's so many nice cars here. It's just incredible.
They feel good, they handle good. It's just an excitement driving them.
I started turning wrenches when I was 12 years old. It's all progressed from there, I guess. I drew a love for AMC because of where I'm from, and we're part of the Mopar family now. I presently run the group called Midwest Nostalgia Pro Stock. We run about 12 weekends a year. We put on shows for different tracks. They draw crowds. We bring our families. We have a cookout. We have a blast.
I would have to say that drag racing is definitely in my blood. My brother come home from high school and he says, "Hey Dad, there's a new type of racing in town. It's called drag racing." Dad says, "Okay, let's build a drag racer." That was 1957. This weekend we're racing Ray Christian's old car. It is a 68 Hemi Cuda. It's got the fiberglass nose on it. It's a 60 over 426 Hemi motor. It's got the magnesium cross ram carburetor with the stock carburetors. It's got some ancient Firestone tires on the back. It's got some old gauges on it that Ray put in 1971, and it's a fun car to drive.
The reason why I got into drag racing was because it's one-on-one. It's your own technology, your own brilliance. You get to see if you're better than anybody else. What I have is a 1979 Concorde hatchback. It's a 2x3 full tube chassis car. I'm running a AMC 401 with its original block, steel crank, the original crank. I've modified it a little bit. I've got 6 100 rods in it. It's punched out to 430 cubic inches. We're dynoed at just under 1,000 horsepower. Got an original UR18 Autoblog tunnel ram intake, but she only made a few for AMC. And I've got two 1050 Hollies on there. So I'm hoping to have bragging rights by the end of the weekend.
Drag racing is skill, it's an art. You just don't go up and get behind the wheel of a car and take off. You better know what you're doing.
Sometimes it can be complicated, and sometimes it's just balls to the wall.
The adrenaline rush is probably better than your biggest roller coaster that you're ever going to run on. You have a tendency to be shaking afterward, and you got to sort of get a hold of yourself and, you know, okay, breathe.
What it's really going to take to win here today is good weather.
Drag racing and rain is the worst combination that you could ever have. Weather plays a very integral part of what we do with racing. It's simply impossible to do because our cars' back tires are slick, they're very smooth, they're not made for water, they won't dissipate the water, they just go roll on top of the water.
They're drying off the track still. I'd say when they're ready, they'll call us down. Everybody's on call right now for their first run of the day. Hopefully it won't be our last run of the day.
Whenever it rains, depending on how much it rained, they have to use the blowers to dry it off. Once they get the track dry, they have a sticky compound that they spray all the way across from the starting line to the finish line. So now you're talking 1,320 feet that they have to maintain. And it usually takes a minimum of an hour for them to get a track ready. It's not a good feeling because you drove 6.5 hours to do a race and you're paying the expenses of traveling and not getting any result because of Mother Nature.
Ohio's known for weather that changes, and it's changing this weekend.
We have a small window of opportunity. The rain is temporarily stopped. They've got the track cleaned up. I have mine ready to go, so let's hope for the best. So we're getting ready for our first pass of the day. Not sure what we're up against. My type of racing is strictly heads up. We all leave at the same time, and you hope you have enough that you can beat the person on the other end. The burnout is to get the tires hot, to get the tires really sticky. So when you leave the line, you don't spin your tires. You want to be able to just go. And you want the tire to turn less than one revolution and take off. For pro stock, I do a burnout across the line, so when I go to leave the line, I have extra nice gooey rubber sitting there to help me get traction. It'll be interesting to see what happens on our first pass. When you're running these things and you're having a bad day, you could be really, really ticked off. And by the end of that first pass, it went right out your feet and out through the door. I mean, it's gone. Hi. All in all, not a bad first run. Now I go back in my brain and replay it just like if we're filming it. So what I did, so I can improve on the things that I did wrong, that I know I did wrong. So.
We'll see how the car is going to do, see how I'm going to do, and hopefully everything stays together.
Larry, have you run the car yet this year?
No, I haven't run it for a couple years actually. Last time we ran it here, took out a rear end and a transmission.
There's things that could happen up there in a heartbeat, and you got to know, is your car safe? You better make sure before you go up there that it is. He's going to be very happy with that run. That was a good run, buddy.
I liked it.
Yeah, buddy.
Having fun now. That's fast as I ever had the car. And you see I'm a little nervous right now. Butterflies are gone here, they went to my hands. I did a 1066 at 126. The old car still got it. Maybe I do too.
Anticipation is high. We're trying to set up an incredible final. We're racing with all heads up. Run what you brung. Let's hope you got enough and make it a good race. First off, I won the race, so I have braking rights for Columbus this year, which is a great thing, good feeling. All things considered, it turned out to be a good weekend for me. The nicest part of it is I get to drive it in the trailer and drive it home.
I think the car likes being out there on the track, and I'm going to try it for 1050s today. You go out there and run as fast as you can, do the best you can, and leave it up to the timing clocks to say who's actually won. I think I have a chance here today. My car ran okay, but it wasn't anything like his car. But I'm glad that we got her down the track, one piece, taking it home in one piece. We had a good weekend.
It was nice to see the people you don't get the chance to see, and that's the other part of drag racing and family. I mean, we're all family, and sometimes you have to come to a track to see your family. That's what it's all about. So,
I'll work on a car all year long just to take it out for 2 or 3 times at one of these events. I live for this kind of stuff.
Racing is a part of us. I hope it stays with us.
If we can't have fun doing it, don't want to do it. And so far, we're still having fun.
Life is good.